Boom. All right, welcome everybody to this week's Party Rental Business Roundtable. My name is Tariq. I will be your host today. And today's session is all about nothing. We got no plans, just a live Q&A. You guys can ask anything you guys want. I'm here. For those of you guys who don't know me, I've been in the party rental industry. This is actually my 10th season. So we're kicking off our 10th season here in Chicago, Bounce My House Party Rentals. Got some of my competitors that are here. I don't know, I'm just playing. We're far enough. There's plenty to go around. So yeah, I'm happy to answer any questions about the party rental business, marketing, websites, sales, how to handle customer objections, how to do anything like that, about how to do anything in the actual business. Happy to answer any of that from my knowledge. And if I don't know the answer, then I'll turn around to somebody else who does. These roundtables are usually pretty civil, so I'm not gonna mute everybody or have you guys use the chat. It's not like a webinar, so feel free to unmute yourselves. Go ahead and ask your questions, and if it does get rowdy, then we'll mute everybody and switch to the chat button. Give you guys the benefit of the doubt this time. So go ahead, unmute yourselves, ask your questions. Fortune favors the bold. So whoever goes first.
Talk about pellet racks and your machine that you have to lift those friggin' bounce houses up there and what that costs you.
You have to pick the most boring topic, bro. No, I'm just playing. Pallet racks. All right, somebody told me this once, and I use this in my life in general. See those books behind me? All those books, right? So I was actually gonna put them like here. I was gonna there's these cool like stormtrooper things. They're called bookends that hold the books, and I was gonna put them there. And then I remembered what somebody told me. They said, Tariq, use the height of your warehouse. Always use the height, because you can always go up. So that's why I stacked those books like that, because there's a lot of stuff that I want to put here. I'm like a big kid. I want to put a lot of toys and awards and books and stuff. But yes, pallet racks for us, we use them because somebody told me that, and it makes sense. You have the height of the warehouse. After so long putting the bounce houses on the floor, you run out of space, and that space is precious, a lot of money. So pallet rack.
What's the name of the machines that you use to lift those bounce houses and put them up on those higher racks?
It's called a forklift. It's a regular forklift.
Where'd you get that off? Off Facebook Marketplace?
I actually got it off an auction. I got it off of an auction. Forgot what it's called, but there's two types of forklifts I learned. There's a gas-powered forklift, super expensive. Those are the ones that you ride. It's like powered. And then there's electric forklifts, which is what I have. We maybe put, like they have mileage. We maybe put 10 miles on our forklift per year. Like it's supposed to get an oil change like a car every so many miles. And I have the guy come out every year and he's like, dude, I don't know why you're calling me out. You barely got any miles on this. I'm like, I'm just checking. So yeah, it's just an electric forklift.
What do those go for?
I don't know how much they go for new. I'll tell you how much I got mine for, but I don't want you to jinx it. I got mine for $800 at an auction.
That's a good deal.
It was broken. I got it in an auction. It was broken. And I have a family member who knows this stuff, and he fixed it up, and now it works like new.
So if that ever goes, you're kind of shit out of water. Like you don't have like those bounce houses that are up higher. You ever thought about?
I don't know. Yeah, I've seen other people use like the jacks. I don't know what they are, but yeah, if you're gonna use pallet racking, then you definitely need to use some kind of forklift.
And your pellet racking, did you get off Facebook Marketplace?
Facebook Marketplace and Craigslist. I actually found the same person on Facebook Marketplace and Craigslist. I was shopping around, but yeah, people will post on both. With pallet racking, when you go with pallet racking, just make sure that you follow your city's instructions. You don't want to set it up and then have to take it all down. There is instructions where how far they have to be from the wall, how far between the pallet racks.
I mean, if the city never comes in there, how the hell would they even know anyways?
No, they'll come in there. They'll come in there for fire inspections, and they'll make you tear it all up.
Oh, I've never had that happen. I have a warehouse that I rent, like an old pole barn, and I've never had any issues like that. Huh.
Yeah, depends, I guess, where you are. After COVID, honestly, they stopped coming, so we're happy. But they used to come every year. Like they'll check.
You got a nice setup there. You probably spent a couple thousand to rent that, or do you own that building?
No, we rent it.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
It's a nice building because you got the office up there in the front, and then you have the warehouse space, right?
Yeah, we have about 1,500 square foot warehouse, or sorry, 1,500 square foot warehouse and 500 office, so about 2,000.
Nice. And then you can clean your bounce houses right on site too, which is kind of nice. Blow them up and whatever.
Yeah, right outside. Just got to make sure the neighbors are cool with it. So you got to make sure there's enough parking. I
Yeah,
see some
sometimes you don't secure
questions
those bounce
on.
houses down. Make sure you secure them down there when you're
Oh, when we're cleaning them, yeah, we got to do
yeah, yeah,
better.
I see that once in a while. You don't secure them down with anything. Be careful if
Yeah,
the people are getting in them and stuff. I see them going airborne every once in a while.
yeah. Sometimes that's what happens when you start hiring kids. They don't always do what they're supposed to.
Yeah, I would just make sure that, you don't want something to happen to somebody one day.
Definitely got to do better with that. I see some questions on tents here in the
Yeah.
chat.
Hey, Tariq. Hey, it's Lewis.
What's up, Lewis?
Maybe you can answer this or anyone else who's in the meeting here. I'm new to the game. I have three inflatables that I purchased used from another guy. They're kind of the older models. I think I got away with them until I build up my funds to get newer ones. Question is I think I did I bought two inflatable tents. Once is a white one, kind of like a wedding tent.
Hold on,
And
hold on,
the
hold on, hold on.
yeah,
You got an inflatable tent?
yeah, yeah.
Okay.
All right. One, I don't know if you've ever seen them. They're inflatable tents. They have the walls are kind of inflatable, and they have the uh I guess material walls, and then the other one's like a cube. It's a club, uh, supposed
Well,
to be for a
nightclub.
nightclub. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm wondering if anyone's had any experience with these units. I went out on a whim and I bought one in white, one in black. I was wondering if anyone rents them. Are they good purchases? What does anyone think about them if they have any experience with them?
What'd you pay for it?
For both units total, came out to 2,400 with
Oh,
with
certainly,
delivery.
certainly not a bad price point.
Yeah, well, I haggled back and forth. And I got them from China. I don't know if that's the best thing to do, but like I said, I'm new to the industry. I actually got them from the inflatable zone.
Here's what I'll just say about that. Have you haven't read the book, have you?
I'm not all the way through now.
Okay.
Oh.
Well, when you get through chapter 5, I think you'll find your answer.
I would have gone with table and tent, 20 by 20 tent. You could have like a nice vinyl tent from them pole tent.
Yeah, I
I
was trying to
not a-
stay. I was trying to stay away from the ones that have the frame and all that stuff.
You
Trying
could
to
just
make
get a
it.
pole tent. I would get pole tents. I would never get a frame. I'm not experienced enough yet with them, and I don't know.
Yeah,
I just like pole tents. Never had issues with them, and they fit in most of the backyards that I do parties at it. So, you just make sure whatever you buy, as far as when you get tents or whatever, that they're going to fit in actually somebody's backyard if you're going to be doing backyard parties. You don't want to buy anything bigger than, what's going to fit on their small lawns
yeah,
if they don't got a, very big space. I see a
yeah.
lot of times people buy stuff and it won't even fit in their yards.
I'm in the Pocono area in Pennsylvania,
Oh,
so
okay. So you
it's
got
kind of like
some.
a rural,
Right.
rural
Okay,
area. A lot of
hold on, hold on,
farmland.
hold on. I'm gonna mute everybody. Hold on, guys. Hold on. I'm gonna mute y'all real quick. So very, very important. When you go ahead and buy something, you have to ask yourself, why am I buying this, Lewis? Am I buying it because I like it? Or am I buying it because I like it because I would rent it? Or am I buying it because it's going to make me money? I think those sound simple, but a lot of people buy stuff for the wrong reason. I'm sorry to say, as a marketer who's done this and who knows what people are searching for, there is not much demand for what you bought. Now you have a choice. Either you can cut your losses and buy something that does have high demand, or you could create the demand, which is going to be very costly. So creating the demand requires you to have a very big marketing budget, videos, try to convince people that they need this, right? But there's other products that people already know they need, like the tents that Ray was talking about, bounce houses. So that's just something that you have to decide. If anybody has experience, you guys can with them. But we actually had a client. Pretty sure he fired us. He had an inflatable nightclub. He used to come on here all the time because we did our best. We marketed him everywhere, Facebook, Google. It was really hard to get him any bookings. So I think if it's something that you're just doing as a hobby, that's fine. You get bookings here and there. Your friends, family might like it. But if your goal is to, make a ton of money, quit your job and really make this into a big company, then I would recommend what I mentioned in the book. Start with the cash cows. Start with the things that people already want. Right here. So that's if you guys want to raise your hands or put your answers in the chat, I'll be happy to answer you guys. Oscar says he's got a question. But unmute yourself, Oscar. There you go. I think you got to raise your hand. Go ahead.
Can you hear me now? Awesome.
Yes, sir. What you got?
So my question is, so our competitors, now I know I'm not supposed to be worrying too much about my competitors and stuff. So I had a little bit of issue where I was out of price range, right? So I was out of the market range. So uh, what I did was I brought the price down. So it's kind of weird. So I'm charging per mile, you know, and we have a couple, and I look into all my competitors just to see what they're doing. One has, I think two of them have like the price included with, the item. So it comes with the delivery and the item. And then I have another one who is like lowballing the market, but I think it's because their inventory is a little bit cheaper. And then the other one is down south and they do a price and then they have a overnight plus a flat delivery fee. So, when I first started off with tents, it wasn't really an issue. People would pay the delivery fee and it wasn't like anything, really didn't notice anything. Now that we're doing with the inflatables, we're kind of having an issue and it's the delivery fee that's getting everyone. We had this lady who was like, no, we love your customer service, but your delivery fee came out of range for us and we just decided to jump with someone else who was a lot closer. But they were like about 23 miles out, so a little bit out of our like area, our service area of 20 miles. So my plan was, and then my other one was like, so if they're closer, they're kind of cheaper, but I was thinking about doing like a flat rate for the 1 to 10 miles and then going, off to what I was thinking about, like adding $5 per mile, 5.60 per mile after that. But I don't know what you thought or what do you think?
Yeah, let me jump in. First of all, Bobby, looking fine, boy. Look at you there. I like that. I like the hat. Looking good, man. Thank you for joining at work. Woo-wee. Look at Bobby go. Okay, so Oscar, you're thinking too much, bro. Don't think too much. Facts, not feelings. Facts, not feelings. Facts, not feelings. Make a list of your competitors. What are they charging? Okay, and then you'll have the facts. Here's what everybody else is charging, and then you can decide: do I want to be on the high end of the market? Do I want to be in the middle? Do I want to be on the low end? You guys know my answer. Always go on the high end. Charge as much as, if not more, as the highest person in your market, and then offer a special promotion to bring the price back down. People would rather pay $200 for a $300 bounce house than $200 for a $200 bounce house. I'm going to say that again. People would rather pay $200 for a $300 bounce house than paying $200 for a $200 bounce house. They want to feel like they got money off. They want to feel like they won, right? So should you worry about your competitors? Absolutely. You're doing the right thing. Keep an eye on them. Are people going to tell you, hey, other people are cheaper? Yes. But at the end of the day, this is such an easy industry to win at because I promise you, people, the big dogs in this industry will tell you, customers value service. Deliver good service. Pick up the phone. Call your customers back. They will pay you even though you're charging more because they know you're going to show up. They know you're reliable. That's the most important thing. I hope that answers your question.
Yeah, it did. It did. I was just making sure that because we've like I told you, like we were getting bookings, but we've been mostly locking down the tents because we've been doing it for 10 or 2 years. And so then now that we're new to the inflatables and we're finally marketing, it's kind of like we'll get like quotes, but we won't lock them. We got some, but they were included with our tents, or the customers found us from the tents or heard about us from the tents.
I'll
You get what
send
I'm
you.
saying?
I'll send you. I call it my $10,000 script. We make at least $10,000 a week in the busy season when things pick up. So I'll
Okay.
send it to you. If you shoot me a message or comment 10,000, I'll put it for you here. I have that. I gotta find the the video, but
You said when, sorry to cut you off. You said when it picks up, so it still hasn't picked up yet, just because we live not too far. Well, we kind of are. You guys are from Chicago, but we're like in Delaware, so we're under PA. Like, I mean, today was kind of cold. Yesterday was nice, but we're probably in the 50 degrees still right now. 50,
yeah, we're about the
40s.
same. I mean, look, I could tell you what I do and what, but every market's different, right? There's population, there's this, there's that. We got, like last week, we got 12 bookings. We didn't deliver 12. We only had 2 deliveries this weekend, but we got 12 bookings, 12 or 14 bookings this past week. We got bookings for April, May, June, July. People are booking way in advance. But what I'm doing is I'm running Google ads. I'm running Facebook and Instagram ads. I'm answering the phone. I'm calling customers back. I'm texting my customers back and forth. No opportunity goes uncalled, unmessaged, whatever you want to call it. And these things cost money. I know people are like, oh, Tariq, I don't have money to do all that. This stuff makes you money, bro. If you're not running Google ads, if you're not running Facebook ads, if you don't have somebody to answer the phone, or you're not answering the phone every time, then you think it's costing you money to do these things, but it makes you way more money than it costs.
Yeah, no, I'm following up with all my customers. I'm making sure, like, well, I mean, they're costing me per click. So I'm like, well, I'm not gonna let that $1, $2 go away. So I follow up with them until I get that no. So
Thank
that's
you.
what,
There you go.
yeah.
Yes. Follow up with them until you get that no. I love it. So yeah, in the book is chapter 14. It talks all about sales. And I'll send you my $10,000 sales script here. I'll put it in the chat. If you're watching a recording, then you could comment 10,000 and I'll send it over to you. 10K sales script. Boom. And by the way, if anybody's interested in learning more about EventHawk or how to get us to run your marketing so you guys can get some results like that, comment GROW, GROW, and I'll send you the link here to book a call with us. All right, next question. Yeah, I'll send that link here in a bit. Thank you. EH is amazing. You're the man. Oh, we got a drama. Somebody's trying to stir the pot here. Where is ERS taking the market with many jumping ship? Will someone such as Dave or anyone else make a system close to theirs? Listen, man, all these different systems, they all do very similar things. It's just the culture, man. Like, I've been with Inflatable Office for as long as I've been doing this. I've been hired to do marketing for ERS, BCN, Wix, everybody under the sun we've done marketing for. They all do 90% the same thing, just that last 10%. I did a whole talk about the differences between them. ERS is all about automation. They help you run your business on autopilot. If that's the most important thing for you, then ERS is a good fit. Inflatable Office is all about helping you be a boss. Even if you have to call your customers, even if you have to send quotes to your customers, it helps you be an actual boss where you can hire people and build a legacy. That's what I like about Inflatable Office. And what you build with them is yours. If you cancel with them, you get to take it with you. And BCN is just a super easy one. Like, they're simple, easy. You don't get a lot of customization options, but it's the one that's just, pretty simple. So that's my thing. Long term, I like Inflatable Office, and they allow you to integrate with other companies like EventHawk and anybody you want, really. So whereas the others, ERS and BCN, they block you off from playing nicely with others. So that's pretty much it. As far as ERS, I know there's other softwares coming out and stuff like that. It's just a matter of who you want to associate yourself with and what your values are, what your goals are. Everybody working hard to build up this industry. Good to have options. All right, next question. Oops, I don't know who's raising their hand. You guys can put them in the Lane. What's up, Lane? Let me get you unmuted here. I gotta find you. I think you have to raise your hand on the Zoom so I can find you. There you go. There's Lane. Lane's outside raking the leaves.
Cleaning houses. Cleaning houses. You there?
Today. Yes, sir. I can hear you.
Okay. Man, I had a question. You were talking about your warehouse earlier. This is being recorded, so I don't want to say too much. I can give you more details later. but right now, my storage is not really costing me anything. I've got one like a 10 by 15, and I've pretty much maxed it out. So I'm wondering, like, I know kind of rule of thumb with employees and laborers, about 25 to 30% of your total cost. What would you say would be a good cost as far as your storage, your warehouse, that kind of stuff?
So the question is, what percent should your revenue should your warehouse be?
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
Yeah, we started out at about 10 or 15%, which was really high.
Mm-hmm.
That was a lot. And my wife was like, "You're crazy. We shouldn't get into a warehouse." But then by the end, I think I put it in the book. By the end of the season, we made so much more money because we had a warehouse. I felt like, because my wife told me, we can't get a warehouse. We can't afford it. And I said, hey, if we get a warehouse, we'll make more money. That was my goal because I don't want to prove her right. So we got a warehouse. And by the end of the season, by the end of that season, our warehouse, we started out at 15% of our revenue because I think we were making 150. Yeah, we were making 150K. We got a warehouse that was about $1,600 a month. By the end of the season, we were at about 300K, and so yeah, it was like 7% or 5%, something like that. So those are my numbers. I don't know what a good number is, but I think
Yeah, I was just kind of
yeah.
looking for like what would be around what to be expected.
Yeah, I think 5 to 10% would be I'm no expert, but 5 to 10% I think would be good. If you start it like closer to 10%, then your goal should be to have the warehouse make you so much more money that it goes down to like 5%.
Okay.
Oh, we got Carlos, Kevin. What's up, guys? Hey. All right, we're going with Gabriel. What's up, Gabriel?
Hey, how you doing?
Good, how are
So
you, man?
good. New to the industry as well. Worked with bounce houses, but being my own boss now. You actually logo you see is from your company, and the website is being created
Awesome.
by your company as well.
Thanks for business, man.
We're about to launch it probably next week. So but into the question. So right now we're starting off with low inventory, meaning one unit but per one bounce house, one combo, one water slide, one toddler combo as well. Then we have all the concessions, snow cone, popcorn, and cotton candy. And then we have tables and chairs and tents. We actually have a tent from 10 tables we just got from IAPA from this past season. We're here, a 10 by 20. What for building more inventory that we're going to be doing now? What is the suggestion in vinyl? 15%, 18% vinyl.
Were you the one that posted that question today in the group?
No, I saw somebody who commented on.
Posted that.
Yeah, and then I saw you hit up with the 5 rule. I did send you commented on the comment to get that 5 rule.
Yeah. Gotcha. Oh yeah. I'll share that with you. So the vinyl.
Yeah, because right now, basically my water slide and my combo slide are from Bounce Wave, and then my toddler combo and my regular bounce house are from Hula Baloo.
So the short answer, my short answer. Feel free to put in your answers in the chat. I buy 15 ounce vinyl. Long answer. So Mark from Tent and Table, I actually tagged him. He said 15 ounce and 18 ounce have the same strength. That comes from the base fabric denier, whatever that means. 15 ounce and 18 ounce have the same amount of PVC on the top surface, but the bottom of the vinyl has a lighter coat. So from the outside, 15 ounce and 18 ounce is the same. It's the same durability, but it's just lighter because from the inside it's lighter. So some people only like to buy the 18 ounce because they're like, oh, they're built like tanks. I think they used to use 50 ounce back in the day. If you guys ever have any old bounce houses, man, those things are heavy, and man, they're like so thick, they're like rubber.
Yeah, that was my question. Is I wanted to know in between the 15 and the 18, what would be more durable?
I would just go with 15, man. Listen, the bounce, the vinyl's gonna rip and you're gonna
Yep.
patch it. So what? That's normal. That's totally normal. I had a guy buy a bounce house from me. He traveled like 4 hours to buy a bounce house from me. He gets there and he sees a patch at the bottom. He's like, "Oh, I'm not gonna buy that. That's got a hole in it." I'm like, wow, you clearly have no experience in this industry. Totally normal. Like, there's a reason that the bounce houses they come with patches because they're gonna rip. They really usually rip from the bottom, not from
Mhm.
the top, and customers really don't care. And especially when you get like I have a whole box full of patches, all different colors from all the bounce houses I bought. So whenever something rips, you just find the right color, you patch it. I did a video on how to do that, and you're good. But what's most important thing for me when I buy inflatables is the weight because Adam Keller actually said this in one of his videos. He said, "We are not in the business of making money. We are in the business of efficiency because it is very easy to make money in this business, in this industry. But what's hard is being efficient. So you'll make a bunch of money, but then you'll spend a bunch of money on labor and delivery and this and that. So the key is being efficient, and having lighter inflatables is super important for being efficient."
Yeah, I asked because I have a water slide and it's a 15-foot slide, water slide, and it's solo. So having that 18-ounce vinyl, once it's wet, it gets heavy.
I can imagine. Bro, I don't buy anything more than like 350 pounds. That's
Yeah.
the rule, man. I'm sticking with light stuff.
Oh,
Somebody
yeah.
somebody wants something bigger, they can go somewhere else. That's why I bought that foam machine from Carlos because it's 17 pounds. I'm like, yeah, anything light, let's go.
Yeah. Now we're trying to invest on the electrical dolly, so less stress.
Yeah, you know, electric dollies are good, but just be careful as well. You know, it's also I feel like it can trap you into not hiring and doing everything yourself and trap you into buying heavier stuff. You want to be able to
It
be
is at
in 5
sometimes
places
because
at once.
I'm in Florida, so there's a lot of heavy grass over here, and we have a dolly from Hula Baloo, the 4-wheel one
Mhm.
with the brakes, and it does help a lot. But once you get into those combos that they get wet, and that water slide when it gets wet, it bears the weight on it.
I can imagine, dude. That's great, man. Yeah, it's going to be a good investment. Just make sure you don't let the dolly replace your first. Have you hired anybody yet?
No, it's me and my wife.
Yep. That's the only thing. Don't be scared to make that first hire, man. That first hire is the hardest one, but it makes a big difference. Once you hire somebody that's not a friend, not a family, it's super scary. But once you do that, it just gets easier and easier and easier. And that's when things really start to change for your business. Once you learn how to hire and how to really be a boss, you're able to work on the business and not so much in the business. But
Okay.
obviously, you just starting out, you should be doing it yourself now.
Yeah, right now we started back in November, and it's been pretty steady.
That's awesome, man.
Almost every weekend we're out. So even during the week, we've already done a couple of daycares and all that stuff. So
Woo, look at you, man. First year. And we're doing your marketing?
I'm about to start with you guys as well.
Okay. All right.
I
Well,
haven't done it until I launch the website.
how have you been marketing on your own right now, getting all those businesses?
Myself, Instagram, Facebook, on stories,
Guerrilla
marketplace,
marketing. Love it.
yeah,
That's
Facebook
awesome.
stories, reels, all that stuff. Post just and put our website into business mode. So
Dude, congratulations, man. Awesome work. Well, thank you,
appreciate it.
man. Thanks for coming on and keep us posted, bro. Keep joining. We do
Yes,
every
can't
Tuesday.
wait. I'm creating a launch already. Just
Yes.
a couple pictures away, and then we're about to start.
That's what's up, bro. Congrats again, man. Thanks
Thank
for
you.
coming on. What's up, Tom?
Hey Tariq, how you doing?
Hey, how are you, buddy?
Yeah, I'm good. Quick question about hiring. So, I just finished file my tax, and then I have speak with the person who do the tax for me, and then she gave me advice how to hiring an employee as a contractor, and then after do research and I make some like contractor agreement type of thing, and then I talked with Lionel, and then he mentioned that you hired people through Indeed, which is, and then I went to Indeed and I post for the job and everything, and I got like 25 people apply for the job right now. And after a bunch of interview, I found a few guys that I like that I mean like I like how they do stuff. And then I interview them and I decide to hire them. I kind
What
of
a
like,
boss. Congratulations, man. That's huge. Before you even
yeah,
finish the story, just the fact that you got this far, that's awesome.
yeah, thank you. So this weekend on the 19th and the 20th, that will be the first day that they start working. So, but here's the thing. How can you trust them that make sure they don't screw up? I mean, like, I don't want to drop a blower on the freeway or something like that.
Hold on, are you going with them or are they going by themselves?
Well, I'm gonna go with them for this time because I need to train them and show them how to set up the bounce house and safety and all kind of stuff. But how do you like let them go by themselves? I mean, like, yeah.
Yeah, that's a good question. Well, listen, man, think about your first boss, your last boss. How did they trust you? You know, people are not as stupid as we think, but it all comes down to your leadership, right? You really have to learn, just like you're joining this Zoom here to learn about how to make money and how to grow your business. You need to learn how to be a boss because these are the people who will run your business for you. And not enough of us study that, right? Like I read a lot of books just on hiring and leadership. That's how I'm able to have tons of people working for me and I trust them 100%. They don't do it exactly how I would do it, but guess what? Some of them do it even better. So to answer your question, how do you trust them? You just have to take the leap, man. You have to let go. There's a saying that I love. You can either have growth or control, but you can't have both. You can either grow your business or control your business. You can't have both. If you want to control your business, you can't grow it. If you want to grow your business, you can't control it. You have to let go. You have to trust. And really, what's important is that you just kind of lead by example and set core values. Core values have been really important for us. I can go on and on and on, but you guys see the core values. Every time you get on with Event Hawk, you see those core values behind them: leadership, learning, collaboration, and fun. We have the same thing for Bounce My House. Our core values are leadership, integrity, intelligence, and fun. And what that means, that's how I tell my guys day one, we hire and fire based on our core values. And here's what each value means. They're just 4 words. So let me turn off my do not disturb here. But it really works, man. Like a lot of the big businesses talk about core values, but that stuff works, man. It's a simple word. I see Ray giving me a thumbs up. It's a simple word, but it makes a big difference because it's simple. The people who work here, the people who do well here, they're leaders. Well, what does leadership mean? Leaders, we have 4 pillars of leadership. Reliable. You show up, bro. You don't show up late. You show up 10 minutes early. Accountable. You make a mistake, it's okay. Just take accountability. We don't do excuses, right? Taking initiative. We don't stand around on our phones. And when you explain things like that, super simple, it's like you're telling the people that work for you, you don't have to remember 50 things. You just have to remember 4 things. These 4 words, that's it. And if you identify them well, then you'll have some good hires. But I will say, you want to be careful with paying contractor. As far as I know, it's not the right way to do it. I mean, there's people that are play this and that. It's, do what you got to do. It's your business. But anybody who you're telling them that they have to be at a certain place at a certain time, or if they're using your truck, they're not using their own equipment, technically they're an employee. If they're friends, family, whatever, but this is not financial advice. But you want to be careful as you start to grow. You don't want to go to sleep worrying about, somebody reporting you to the IRS, which happened to me. One of my employees, Inflatable Office came up with this amazing thing called online tips. So we started doing that in the middle of the season. We went from cash tips to online tips. Man, big mistake. We should have did it at the beginning or at the end. This guy starts accusing us of stealing his tips. And over like $30, he goes to the Department of Revenue. And I get a call like, hey, you're getting audited. Come outside. I'm like, what are you talking about, bro? He's like, yeah, I'm outside. Come out, come right now. I'm like, who is this? It was it was the Department of Labor. So I was like, thankfully we were not at the office, but he's like, you have to come out right now, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, bro, I'm out of town. I'm not, I was down the street. I'm like, I'm not going to go to the office. I don't know what this guy's going to get me to say or do. So we scheduled it for a week later. I got a lawyer and they did a whole audit. And fortunately, we didn't get fined, but I had to pay the lawyer $3,000 just to come out and be there with me to make sure I didn't say anything stupid. So that happened after being in business like 7 years. So we went 7 years without a problem, but then some kid, 18-year-old, decided to, over $30 go and report us. And fortunately, we were okay. So it's just something to keep in mind.
Okay, so you're saying that so do you hire them as an employee or as a contractor?
We hire them as an employee. We do W-2 and we pay them, we take out taxes, everything.
Okay. Well, my tax lady, she mentioned about that, and she's like, well, make sure that in the contract you mentioned that they cannot file a unemployment, something like that.
Mhm.
If like they out of job or stuff like that. And so what I do is I not really give them a schedule, like, okay, you have to be this time, but I kind of give them a schedule ahead of time. For example, I give them a week before, and then um they tell me like, okay, yes, I want to do that, or I cannot do it. Then if they want to do it, then they will have to come, because so technically they have an option whether they choose to do it or not to do it. And then if they say no, then I give it to the next guy. And then if the next guy say, yes, I'll do it, then the next guy, it's kind of like bidding the job.
Yeah. So
basically.
So again, I'll just keep it easy for you.
Mhm.
According to the IRS, their employees, I trust me, I've tried everything in the book. I'm gonna send you a video. We had 3 tax guys come on here. I think you might have even been on there. We asked them that question. So I'll put it in the chat here. And if you're watching the recording, just put the word taxes in the chat and I'll send you the link. But they answered that question. John says their employees 100%. They are, trust me. I paid mine by the job. I treated them as contractors. We didn't have a problem with that. It was a separate thing, but thankfully they were employees when we had the tip issue. And we didn't get a fine, but by then we had switched. So I know it's a lot harder when you have employees. You got to pay taxes, you got to do payroll, you got to do workers' comp, all this stuff. But just be careful. That's all. Just make sure that they're good people and they're not going to screw you over. Last thing I will say, Josh mentioned a very important thing. I went off on a tangent with the whole W-2 thing, but yes, processes are very, 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 very important. I did a ton of videos on how my guys kind of go out on their own, having a packing list of what to load, a system, a checklist for what to check when you're done, having people double check. You definitely need those documented. And you could even have a checklist where they have to check each job, send you pictures of each job. You can do all those things. Like I tell my guys all the time, if you don't send me a picture, you don't get paid. I'm going to pay them, and they forget all the time. But that helps me, and I make sure they send me a picture inside the unit so I see that there's no chicken wings in there or anything like that. It's clean. Yes, I had a lady one time send me a picture of chicken wings in my bounce house. She said, "You guys delivered this like this." I'm like, "No freaking way! No freaking way! There's chicken wings in there." I don't know if she put them in there or what, but yes. So now I always take pictures of the inside. So yeah, definitely do that. But dude, they're gonna make mistakes, they're gonna screw up, but that's okay. You screwed up at your job, give them grace. The coolest part of being a business owner is getting to hire people and be a mentor. It's the coolest thing ever, honestly. It is so cool for somebody to make mistakes and for you to mentor them. I tell my people all the time, they work for me. I don't expect you to work for me forever. In fact, I expect you to go on and do bigger and better things. And my hope and all I can hope for is that I played a role in your growth, in your career, so that I become part of your legacy. And one day, something that you do good in this world and you help others, some of that is part of something that I taught you or that you learned while working for me. They will screw up. It's fine. And you just have to kind of learn how to roll with it. Sorry to go off, but I hope that helped.
Okay. Do you okay, so you give the tip to your employee?
100%. We let them keep all the tip.
Okay. What if for example, like if I hire them as a contractor and then we agree to the job or the hour, do I need to give them the tip too? Do you recommend to give them the tip as well?
I would, just because you don't want them talking about you. Let them make the money. You're the business owner. Give them the tip. They'll appreciate you. They'll be more loyal.
Okay. Because I don't have any benefit for them, but here's the thing. If they go to set up a and um the the customer that they set up for gives them 5-star review, they get a bonus. And I when I went to set up the bounce house by myself, I get 5-star all the time, and they love me. But then one time, my neighbor was like offered to help, and that guy have a bad attitude, and I make a mistake of let him do it, and then I did not get a 5-star from that customer, but I did not get a negative star either. So which is kind of like neutral. But the thing is, the guy, he was like a bad attitude, and he dropped the steaks and stuff on the dolly, so it make noise, and he bring his kid to set up the bounce. I told myself I never do that again, but that's why I get an employee instead of like a contractor employee instead. So.
Man, you're gonna have a hard time in this business if you're expecting every setup to go perfect, bro. They're gonna drop stuff, they're gonna make noise, they're gonna do all kinds of crazy stuff. Give your people some grace, man. This is understand most people, most customers, I forgot what it's called, but they will mirror your attitude. If you're fun and understanding, they'll be fun and understanding of your crew, right? But if you're nervous and anxious and like, oh my God, I'm so sorry, we dropped the steaks, they're gonna start being like, you owe me a refund because you dropped a steak on the floor. So what, you know? But if you're just cool and maybe that's not your strength, right? I was super awkward when I started. I could barely talk to people. But I learned that my wife actually taught me. She's like, dude, you're too uptight. Like, we did nothing wrong. Like, so what? We did this or we did that. Like, stop apologizing or stop worrying so much about them. And when you're confident, they respect you. So keep that in mind too. You don't want to make your team feel scared of the customer, scared to screw up, because that's when they're really screw up.
Okay. Yeah, I don't have any more questions.
Thank you, Tom. Really appreciate you jumping on. Lane, what you got? Then we'll talk about trucks and trailers.
Oh man, I got a question about insurance. So, I know I have to have liability, and I was filling out some stuff with another company, and they were asking about products like games, things like that. I'm still waiting to hear back from them, so I thought maybe I'd ask you, do you carry like business insurance, like general insurance on top of your liability, or how does that work? Is that all included in one usually? I don't know. I don't know what the standard practice is. This is my first year having to do this.
I don't know if you should or you shouldn't. I don't. I just have the insurance through, I think we have OVD. Yeah, we have OVD right now. They just do the liability insurance. And
okay, that's actually who it is. So,
man, they're a great company. They're actually, their process was super easy. And what I noticed, a lot of other insurance companies, they freaking, because they charge you insurance, the rate is based on how much money you make. And what I liked about OVD is they had me deduct the delivery fees and the tips. Dude, yeah, like last year, I think we had like 70K in delivery fees and tips and stuff that I didn't have to pay insurance on, where my last insurance company was trying to charge me for making that money. I'm like, that's just delivery fees, tips, taxes. They lump it all into one. So I really appreciated that they separated it.
nice. Okay. Yeah. So I mean, it is just liability then. You can get just that. It's not like an all-in-one kind of thing.
Yeah, that's all I have. I don't know if you want more, you could always get more, right? I know there's inland.
Well, no, I mean, that's like being my first year, that's all I wanted, but I was just curious if that was like standard practice or what the deal was with that. Cause I know you've got it and you see all these other guys that do. So I was like, I might as well ask.
Yeah, the insurance that you want is just liability. You can get inland marine to protect your inflatables if something happens, theft, fire, anything like that. They can replace them, but you know how it is. They cost so little that for us, it's worth it to just replace them if anything happens.
Yeah. Okay. That's all I was wondering.
Thanks, Lane. Question in the chat about trucks or trailers. Man, box trucks are so much easier, but they're also more expensive and harder to repair. So you guys know my answer. If you read the book, I think you go with what you have. If you have a box truck, use a box truck. You have a trailer, use a trailer. If you have a minivan, use a minivan. I started out with my sedan. I was literally delivering bounce houses in my sedan, like a 97 or something like that. As you grow, then you could buy, but you know, really the biggest thing that you want to take advantage of, in my opinion, is rentals. We would rent trailers from U-Haul. I don't know if you guys don't know this, but they rent trailers. So if you're not sure what size trailer, rent a trailer from U-Haul. They have different sizes. See how you like them, and kind of before you buy. But renting box trucks has been huge for us. So we own 50 inflatables, but I only own one pickup truck and one pickup truck and a trailer. That's it. So every summer we rent box trucks. We will rent anywhere from 3 to 4 box trucks at a time, and we'll lease them long term. So we'll lease them from Penske from like May, and we'll return them in like September, October. And we get a better rate, and we don't have to worry about availability. I used to rent them every weekend. It was super annoying to have to drop off and pick up, but I was like, hey, it's cheaper. I don't want to pay rental for, you know, Tuesday through Friday. But then one time, oh my God, it was a nightmare. I went to rent a truck and they said, we don't have any more available. I'm like, what do you mean? I need them for tomorrow. They're like, oh, it's the first of the month. So when the weekend falls on the first of the month, you're SOL. There's no trucks available because people are moving and stuff like that. So ever since then, I'm like, screw it. I'd rather just have a box truck on hand at all times. And of course, family and friends start, hey, can I use your box truck? Sure, go ahead. No, don't tell Penske. I'll let other people use it. But you have it ready for last minute orders. A school calls you or something like that. You could do it during the week. It's there. So that's what I recommend. Before you invest 30, 40, $50,000 in a truck, just rent, see what you like. And for us, I think we spent 17,000 last year on renting a truck or renting so let's say like $20,000 on renting box trucks. But and my tax guy's like, you should just buy something, dude. For that price in the last 3 years, you could have bought a really good box truck. I'm like, yeah, well, first of all, I needed that wasn't just to rent one box truck, that was to rent 2 or 3 at a time sometimes. And also, I didn't have to worry about repairs. I didn't have to worry about that, included insurance, and I didn't have to worry about it just sitting there for 6 months in the off season. So that's what we do for trucks. So my recommendation is rent first, buy later. All right, y'all, we're in the last 10 minutes. We have Gabriel and then Ralph. What you got, Gabriel?
Another question real quick. For all those that are into more years in the business, what are the most common insurance companies out there right now?
I'm going to send you an article that has the most common ones. I don't get paid by them, so no, not affiliated. I like OVD. I had good experience with them, so I'll send that to you. Put it in the chat here in a bit, and if you guys are watching recorded, just put insurance and I'll send it over to you. Ralph.
Hey, how's it going?
Hey.
So I got 2 questions, kind of. So in our state, they also ask for us to have inspections done and have like state inspection stickers for each of our units. That gets kind of costly between paying for the inspectors to come out, and a lot of them, most of the inspectors don't live nearby, and so we're paying travel fees and then the inspections, and then on top of that, we have to submit those to the state and pay the state a fee for each sticker as well. And so I've been doing that for the last couple of years, but over the last year, I've gotten to know a lot more of the larger businesses, companies in the area, and the owners, and they just flat out tell me that they're like, "Nah, screw that," you know.
Don't do it.
Yeah, they said it's a waste of money. All they do is inflate them and take a picture, or we inflate them, and you know we have so many that you just have all these big ass slides and everything that it's like we dreaded it. And so
Yeah.
anyway, I was wondering if y'all do that there in Chicago, if that's a requirement, and if not, have you heard of that? And would you recommend doing it or not? You know, I won't have to. I won't take your just in theory, hypothetically, I guess.
Would I recommend breaking your state laws or not? Is what you're asking me. All right, got it.
Pretty much.
So in Chicago, the rule is you have to get them inspected if they're used at a public event. So if you deliver it to a private event, backyard party, or any private event that's not open to the public, you do not have to get it inspected. Obviously, when I started, I wanted to be the biggest company in the world because I was crazy. So I got mine inspected and it sucked. You're absolutely right. We had to we'd blow them up all over the neighborhood and use our neighbors' things and hey, you can have your kids. It's like the whole block would be full of bounce houses. And the guy would just come in, check, put a sticker on it, move on, take pictures, just like walk around like, dude, this totally sucked. After COVID, we stopped doing large events because we just started doing so many backyard parties. And we decided to just stop doing large events or public events altogether, to be honest. And somebody asked in the comments, park bookings. We don't do any parks. We don't do any festivals. We don't do any of that. We're the backyard guys because, like I said, listen, it's the efficiency. We make so much money off the big festivals, but then when we do the math, we take home so much less. And we dread it, and we'd be there setting up for like 2 days sometimes. And it's like, and what do you get? 1 5-star review if you're lucky. From sending out 15 bounce houses, I could have got 15 reviews. Right? So yeah, we just stopped doing that altogether.
Okay.
There's
All right.
so much backyard demand that we'd rather do that.
All right. And one last real quick question, a lot quicker. So with the rental trucks, and with your vehicle in general, your truck and trailer, I don't have it covered under OBD as a or my vehicle's covered for business purposes, but and I could probably ask the guy at OVD. I can't believe him, Evan.
Kyle.
Yeah. So he had mentioned something. So basically, with your trucks that you rent, do you use the Penske insurance or do you say, "Hey, I got my own insurance"?
I use the Penske insurance just because
Okay.
that's what was recommended by other people who have been doing this longer than me. I really thought about getting my own. I looked into it, it was like a mess, but then I decided to trust other people, and I'm really glad I did because we damaged one of the trucks, and yeah, the guys they put a big water slide soaked, like it was like I don't know, maybe 1,000 pounds. Finally got it in there by itself in the middle of the truck, and then I guess they were so tired they floored it, and it rolled back and broke the door. We couldn't even we had to break the door open to get the water slide out. So if that was my truck, we would have been screwed. But sent it back to Penske. Next day, I had a brand new truck. Didn't have to worry about anything. So, like I said, if you're a truck guy or a car guy, maybe you know how to fix stuff. So, but me, that's not me. So I'd rather just leave it to them. Great questions. Great questions. I'm going to put in the link one more time here as we wrap up for anybody who is interested in growing their party rental business and wants some help from EventHawk. We offer website design, Google Ads, marketing, SEO, Facebook ads. So I'll put in the link here. And when you go to that link, you just go ahead and you put in your information and we tell you if you qualify to work with us or not. We don't work with everybody. We work with very specific types of companies in the party rental business because that's what we're good at. And we don't want to take your money if we don't think we can help you. So schedule a demo with EventHawk. So there it is. I just put it in the chat. Go ahead and schedule your demo there. If you're watching a recording, type the word grow, GROW, and I'll send you guys that link. Guys, this has been fun. Any other questions that we weren't able to answer, put them in the comments and I will reach out to you and answer some questions. Always happy to do this. We are live every single Tuesday, same time, 7 p.m. CST. Next week, I think we're going to be talking about, maybe, just maybe, we're going to be talking about AI. Got a guy on the team who's having a lot of fun with AI and he wants to show you guys all the new AI stuff that he's been working on. So I think, Carlos, did you do yours already? The AI one? I think I saw you promoted yours.
No, I'm doing it tomorrow.
Tomorrow,
Show
okay.
people how to do the little guys and stuff like that. So,
all right, well, go to Carlos's thing tomorrow. What is that in the phone group?
yeah, it's in the foam group. It's at 8 p.m. Same time as yours, 7 CST. So yeah,
cool. Why don't you
drop the
link? Drop the link in the chat, Carlos, if anybody's interested to the group. So Carlos has a group for foam. For anybody who's interested in getting into foam, he throws a lot of free stuff in there. It gives pictures, videos for you guys to use. It's our first time getting a foam machine, so we're definitely using that stuff. We had a client who's actually in Minnesota is doing very well with Kurt is actually using the video you sent, Carlos. He's doing very well with the Facebook ads already. So thank you for sending that. All right, I'll wait for Carlos to send that video. There's the group. So there's the foam group. If you guys are interested in joining that, go ahead and click that link, join. And if you're watching on YouTube or somewhere else, type foam, FOAM in the comments, and I'll send you guys Carlos's group here so you guys can join it. Thank you, everybody. Enjoy the rest of your night. Join next week so that we can talk more about AI. Have a good rest of your night.